you call it. Try to first understand, and then we go for choosing option question, right? Any of the test. Now, what will be the problem that occur here in IELTS listening section 3? We face choosing option. What is mean by choosing option? You know about that. Yeah, this kind of question on the left side you can see of the screen. So such questions when we face in IELTS listening section 3, it creates a trouble for us to choose the exact correct option, because we see they IELTS listening section number 3, they share all the options, right? Like B will be discussed, C, A, all of them will be discussed, and we get confused which one is the right one. Now there are some techniques, just focus on that, and then we will go through that. Now first of all, highlight the keywords. What is meant by keyword? For instance, here you see the 26 number question. The students agree that food manufacture deliberately. Now here food manufacture is the keyword and deliberately is the keyword. And what student agree or disagree, that is agree, right? So what they agreed, and in each option you will need to underline the keyword. Make calorie counts, hard to understand, hard to understand. This is the keyword. Next, fail to provide accurate calorie counts. So first is hard to understand, second is fail to provide, third is use ineffective methods. Ineffective, like no effect, there is no effect to reduce calories. So hard to understand, fail to provide, ineffective method. And definitely you will see, listen the exact option with 100% synonym, right? So the other options, those which will be computer-based exams, you can highlight them, right? And after highlighting, leave them as you highlight. In IELTS reading and IELTS listening, just highlight the main options, write it down on the piece of paper directly. You will be given a piece of paper and computer-based exam and pen, right? Next is don't select the first answer that you hear. Most of the moment when we hear the first answer, in most situation, 90% situation, the first answer might not be the right one, right? So you have to not be directly choose the first answer, the first option that you hear. So you should wait for all the three discussions. Yes, and the option, the point I told you that the exact right answer will be 100% synonymized. You should wait for that. You should not directly jump. Next, answers option may be in different order, right? How in different order? For instance, you are having A, B, C. You are having A, B, C, right? Now, might be they say first B and then say they say C and then they say A, and A might be the right answer. Might be, right? So what I mean to say that the orders will be in the different way. Now we go for next is answers option, paraphrase 100%, not only mainly 100% will be paraphrased, right? The exact option, and the one in which you think it might be the right option because of exact same words are told in the are heard by you in the audio, so that will be not the right one. Next, try to skim read and all the answers option before the audio. Try to skim read all the answers option before the audio. What does it mean? When you are given this question, try to skim read. Skim read means like we read it in a skim read. Skim read means within 3 to 5 seconds you read it and you got it. For instance, food manufacturers deliberately, how to understand, fail to provide, and effective methods, right? Now this is your skim reading, and now when the audio is gonna be shared, so approximately 15 seconds to 17 seconds you will listen the first option, right? Then 15 seconds approximately second option, then 15 seconds approximately the third option, right? The next this question. So each has to be divided for approximately 15 seconds. Now we go for again some more points, and then we will jump to the questions. Now try to skim read all the options before the audio plays. Be careful when you hear word like but and however, right? But and however and rather, right? It's especially in IELTS reading section and in IELTS listening, when you see this word, this changes the whole concept, the whole idea. Be very careful regarding that. And IELTS reading book number 12, page 60, I think. Yeah, here, sorry, not book 15, IELTS general, test number 4, passage number 1. You will see in true false, there are 7 true false, book 15, IELTS general, and that is having test number 4, 7 first true false, and you will see most of the moment this word but. Another books too. So this but can be used in IELTS listening and can be used in IELTS reading to only trap the mind, right? Like first they will share one idea, but when they say but, so but means that is 100% the wrong statement that was shared before, right? That was not agreement. So but change the whole concept. Same goes for however. So however and but, you should be much attentive for that. And IELTS listening section 3 means 100% attention. Next, practice more and more exercise to enhance your score. Now we see further. Yeah, avoid distractors by actively listening to the audio. Distractors means like if you move your head even more or a lot, that headphones can create a trouble of vibration, and vibration for one moment or 1 second can distract to understand the audio, the the exact information clearly. So you should not move your head here and there, right? Next is write the correct letter, PBT, or select the correct letter. This is now not paper-based exam, so this is computer-based, so we have to select definitely. So CBT computer-based test and PBT paper-based test, but now we shift it to paper computer-based test. Now common problems, some common problems, we talk about that, and then we will discuss some more strategies, and after that we will move towards the questions. Common problems, what common problems? I earlier told you too. When gives three choices, the first option, sorry, when gives three choices, like three choices will
Dana,
that I'll choose.
उठो.
Please mute your mic. Be very attentive and be very formal, please. Now, in common problems, when give three choices, like above, you are likely to hear the speaker talking about three options. Just because you hear it mentioned doesn't make it correct, right? Three options will be 100% listened by you, but that doesn't mean that those are all of them are correct. No, you must select the correct answer, not the first one you hear again, right? So it doesn't mean that you hear you heard the first option and our second, so this is no. You will hear definitely A and B and C, but you have to choose which one has emphasized, which one has chosen, and which one that speaker agreed, and this one is the right option, right? Next, we go for point number one, common problem two, sorry. The answers will normally come in the form of synonyms or paraphrase. This is very important. On any website, IDP, British, or on other website and sources, if you find how to find out or how to tackle choosing option question, you will see this option in everywhere. And IELTS Cambridge books and everywhere. And IELTS teaching guides and other guides too. Everywhere you will see this suggestion from anywhere. What does it mean? That your right option will be 100% synonymized and paraphrase. So you have to be attentive. The option that might not seem to you correct, that will be the correct one. Don't just listen for exact matches. Exact matches are the wrong options. Think about how the answer could be expressed using synonyms and paraphrase. This is very interesting point, right? When you read a question, for instance, these are the questions. Now, when you read it, so you think how it can be synonymized. The word is used, the amount recommended. So they can say the point suggested, or the total thing suggested is much too low, is very less, right? So this can be paraphrased in this very way. So if you work on paraphrasing technique in different aspects, not only in listening, in reading and writing, this is very, very highly suggested to all of you, that when you read even a passage, a paragraph, and IELTS reading section, and when you read a paragraph, like in each single paragraph, one sentence, two sentence, three sentence, and four sentence. Now try to split it. First of all, split it. You split it like this is the method of reading, and same goes for listening to, and same goes for writing to. And this helps you to make it very easy for you to understand and pick the information. What I mean to say, when you read a paragraph, the four sentences, try to split them all of them. When you split them, split means to make it very short. And when you understand each single sentence separately, after understanding separately, try to give it two sentence idea, like our one sentence idea. That means you paraphrase, you summarize it, right? Summarize and concise it in your mind. Same goes for IELTS writing section. When you are given a topic of essay and you're supposed to write an essay, now first introduction means to paraphrase the topic, right? So to write it in your own words. This is the way. And same goes for IELTS speaking section. When the question of cue card is given to you, for instance, are section 3 or 2 or 1, now you will supposed to use different words. Instead of saying like, you say I am into, right? Instead of saying other words, you say some others, right? Same goes for IELTS listening section. Here it is actually the way to analyze and observe and to check the students' ability, either they get and understand or not the English, they are familiar to it or not, they are only concerned with the exact similar words. So similar words means a very small or a very beginner level. Now, so the right options and the exact question will be synonymized for you to only you check your level. And for this reason, on the Monday, I told you that listening other podcasts and things are really very important and magnificent and improving this listening part. Now, next is the three choices often in similar meaning. Sorry, often look similar in meaning, and it may be difficult for you to tell the difference. Look for keywords in the different option that allow you to tell the difference between the different option. Now, first, when we saw this, like how we can choose the different words, different option, here you see 26 number question. Here one is to understand, hard to understand. Why? There is also calorie, there is also calorie, there is also calorie, right? In each option there is calorie word, but one is hard to understand, another is fail to provide, another is ineffective method, use ineffective method, right? So this is how you have to make yourself familiar, like what it means and what the words are going to distinguish it, to make it a little different from each other. Now, next point, this is not just a test of your listening skill, you also reading skill. You got it. I told you that when you read a paragraph in IELTS reading section, for instance, you read from here till here, try to change it into your own concept and say it within your mind, within English language, not in your own native tongue, rather in English language. This helps you to directly find out the question, the answer statement directly, right? So this is also the test of your reading skill, because you read a question and there you listen the audio is having a different words. So reading has different word, audio has different word, means synonymized test. IELTS listening is totally 100% based on synonyms, right? Now synonyms, for instance, the question is in your mind and the answer is also in your mind. You're clear with that. There is much more to read in multiple choice questions. So practice underlining the keyword in the questions and quickly understanding the difference between the different options, right? So same goes for like understanding point. This one is discussing like tips. Now, again, some tips. Don't check your answers from the previous section when you have a break. Directly, it is important that you read the multiple choice questions. Within computer based exam 2, you should move and jump to the next part, right? And like the given time, 30 seconds, one will be given. Try to make very focus on the questions understanding and underlining the keywords. Highlight keywords. The keyword in the question will help you the questions correctly. The keyword in the different options are those that differentiate. What is, if you ask what is keyword? So keyword actually differentiate meaning between the choices. It differentiate each option from each other. And don't write the first answer you hear. Again, remember that you will try and trick you. Remember that they will try and trick you. How? By telling you first a wrong option, most of the time a wrong option, right? 90+%. Don't spend too much time on one question. If you didn't get it in 15 seconds, to be very you should be very attentive. For the second question might be the speaker is in the second question within 15 seconds, it might be had discussed. If you didn't get answer or you are unsure, make an educated guess and move on. Be careful if you hear word like but or however. Again, this means the speaker is going to qualify a previous statement. What is mean? That speaker is going to change the idea by using but. Like for instance, he's saying this was entrusted to choose this option, for example, to make it simple, but it was not fruitful. And we went or we walked through another one. Practice makes perfect. And next, the last one, your answer will often be a letter and not a word, right? So 1 minute. Yeah, your answer will be often be a letter and not a word. Read the instruction to make sure. Be careful when transferring your answer. Your answers means later you have to definitely just choose the right letter. Now it is computer, so it is quite easy. You have to just choose the letter. Now this is the last slide, and then we jump to the questions. Read the instructions carefully, read the questions and identify what is actually being asked. Highlight the keywords, again repetition. Look at the different options and underline the keywords. Keyword is main focus. Synonyms are paraphrasing. You might hear this. You must be very master in synonyms and paraphrase. right? Sometimes I share IELTS listening vocabulary. Sometimes I share other IELTS vocabulary. So you go for that, the synonyms especially, and predict the answer. When listening, listen for any keywords and synonyms. When listening, listen for any keywords and synonyms. Don't write this, these are the only two. There are three, and to summarize, we can say there are three things: to understand the question, to underline the keyword, and then focus on the synonyms. Understand the question, underline the keyword, and focus on the synonym. These are the only 3 points that will make it very clear for you. Don't write the first answer you hear. They will probably talk about more than one option, right? So the first option is not going to be correct. Again, and the last 7, if you think an answer is correct, put a tick beside it and keep listening to make sure. You should listen B and C if you got A is correct. If you think first, also listen the other two. And the last option, don't spend any more time than is necessary. If you miss an answer, make a guess and move on, right? So the points, I hope you would have taken a screenshot for yourself, right, to help you later on, and especially these tips for listening. Now we jump towards directly any.
Sir, can you please show me the last slide? I just want to take screenshot.
Now we
And
go for
इससे पहले वाली भी एक दफा दिखा दें, please.
it here and in group only English. Okay. Some
Okay,
students
sir.
don't understand your Urdu. They're from outside,
Okay. Okay, and sir, first one, please.
and your English is very good. So you should.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Now we go for one test. IELTS listening.
You will hear a number of different recordings.
Just we follow the keywords. First, we will understand the question, and I will not share. You will not share. Later on, I will ask you guys within after one question completion, right? So be very attentive. I'm gonna start from section number 3 of this test. Yeah, here it is. So be very attentive. I hope the voice will be clear. Yeah, cities built by the sea. Now your mind is ready that in section number 3, 21 to 30 questions, that means 2 people are 3 persons, participants discussion. Why? Because this is section number 3 audio, the format is that. So 2 persons, like at here you see Kerala and Rob were surprised to learn the coastal cities. What to learn about the coastal cities, right? So you have to listen about this, and might be there will be a tutor, right? There are two pupils, 2 students, right, and 1 tutor. So 1 tutor might be having a discussion with them regarding what? Regarding cities built by the sea, because this is academic discussion. And IELTS listening, and IELTS exam listening and speaking is 100% same for general and academic students, right? So in IELTS listening section 3, you hear academic discussion based on this topic. Two students names, Carla and Rob. Your mind is ready that a format and tutor is going to discuss. Now, what is the first statement? Carla. So first 3 things we have to follow. Other things, if you remember, so well and good. Carla and Rob were surprised to learn that coastal cities. Why they were surprised? Might be they were going to discuss something with each other and with the tutor, and now they were surprised. Both together. If one surprise, so the option is not right. If both surprise, so the option is right. Now we see contain nearly half the world's population. That coastal cities has half world population. Or it is include most of the world's largest cities. Or there is the largest cities. Keyword number 2. Or keyword number 3 are growing twice as fast as other cities. Or it is going very fast as other cities. So it's quite clear. World's population half, largest cities, fast as other cities. They're growing twice. Now I play it, listen it attentively, and choose the right option. Let's start.
That is the end of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to Section 3. Section 3. You will hear two urban planning students, called Carla and Rob, discussing their presentation on cities built by the sea, following instructions from their tutor. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 25.
Okay, so what I'd like you to do now is to talk to your partner about your presentations on urban...
Guys, focus on the synonymized words. For half, for largest, for fast, for twice, right? You will listen the synonymized words because other things like cities, population, cities, these are same. So be very careful that the words those are same will be uttered same, but the words those are different, sharing different information, half, largest, fast, or twice. These will be synonymized and will be chosen as the right option or the reason for the surprised, right? So listen it. 1, 2, 3.
planning. You should have done most of the reading now, so I'd like you to share your ideas and talk about the structure of your presentation and what you need to do next.
Okay, Rob, I'm glad we chose quite a specific topic, cities built next to the sea. It made it much easier to find relevant information.
Yeah, and cities are growing so quickly. I mean, we know that more than half the world's population lives in cities now.
Yeah, though that's all cities, not just ones on the coast. But most of the biggest cities are actually built by the sea. I'd not realised that before.
Nor me. And what's more, a lot of them are built at places...
Yes, who would like to tell me what is the right option in 21?
Sir, may I?
Yes.
B.
B.
Why B?
Yes. Because she was talking about the largest cities.
But she didn't
Sir,
use the word
sir
largest.
he used biggest.
Yes,
Word
Yes.
biggest.
yes. And for surprise, now be familiar with each single MCQs is the indication towards the IELTS real exam. For surprised, what she said, but most of the biggest cities are actually built by the sea. And then she further said, I would not realize that before. When she said, I would not realize that before means this is surprise when you see something for the first time. And what Rope answered for this point? Nor me, nor me. So nor me, nor she. So that means this is a surprise. The your option is B. Now focus on 22. According to Rob, building coastal cities near to rivers may bring pollution to the cities. So the first reason, pollution to the cities. Pollution is the main word. Next, may reduce the land available for agriculture. So land will be reduced. Land will be reduced. Problem. There will be a problem of pollution. There will be a problem of land, or there will be a problem of may mean the countryside. Countryside means village. Countryside is spoiled by industry. Or the clean area like countryside is without pollution, definitely, right? And having no pollution. So that will be spoiled by industry, like industry will disturb it. Now listen it again and 1, 2, 3 start.
...is where rivers come out into the sea, but apparently this can be a problem.
Why?
Well, as the city expands, agriculture and industry tend to spread further inland along the rivers, and so agriculture moves even further inland up the river. That's not necessarily a problem, except it means more and more pollutants are discharged into the rivers.
So these are brought downstream to the cities?
Right. Did you read that
Okay.
article?
Now, which one?
I think A.
Other
A,
students? Dylan, why A?
A, because it said, Rob said that it may bring more like of a synonym of pollution.
Yeah, good. The problem they mentioned that yet it can bring more and more pollutants are discharged into the rivers, and definitely that rivers were discussed in the cities near to the rivers, right? So this pollution bring more pollution to the rivers, not countryside or other option. Okay, right one. Yeah, go for 23. When there is a proper name, so that is the most easiest one because now that is started 23 and maybe this name has been taken. Maybe what make mistakes was made when building water drainage channels in Miami in 1950. So the mistake that was done, you understood first the question, point number one. Point number two, I like the keywords. Point number three, focus on the keyword synonymize technique. The words will be synonyms. Either enough, either unsuitable, irregular, irresistible, like this kind of are the effects, the impacts. So these words can be changed. Okay, they were enough, not enough of them. What were not enough of them? That the drainage, building water drainage channels were having a mistake, not enough of them. They were not enough. They were made of unsuitable material. The material was not okay. That was not good. Next, they didn't allow for the effects of climate change. The climate change effect was not allowed here. Now we go for this one.
About Miami on the east coast of the USA?
No.
Well, apparently back in the 1950s, they built channels to drain away the water in case of flooding.
Sounds sensible?
Yeah, they spent quite a lot of money on them, but what they didn't take into account was global warming. So they built the drainage channels too close to sea level, and now sea levels are rising, they're more or less useless. If there's a lot of rain, the water can't run away. There's nowhere for it to go. The whole design was faulty.
So, what are the...
Yes.
I think B.
No.
C,
C. C.
Yes. Dylan, how
because,
C?
because they talk about the effect of climate change. They don't mention it, but variety.
Yeah, look at the exact similarities, right? Now, they didn't allow for the effects of climate change. This person said like this, but what they didn't take into account. So didn't take into account means didn't allow, didn't focus or didn't concentrate, didn't take into account was global warming or was climate change. So climate change was synonymized. Next was
Sir,
unsuitable.
can you please repeat this MCQ, please? Repeat
Yeah.
the recording, please.
Okay. Look at the synonym words. I repeat, I again play it.
Quite a lot of money on them, but what they didn't take into account was global warming. They spent channel the USA.
No.
Well,
Not here.
apparently back in the 1950s, they built channels to drain away the water in case of flooding.
Sounds sensible?
Yeah, they spent quite a lot of money on them, but what they didn't take into account was global warming. So they built the drainage channels too close to sea level, and now sea levels are rising, they're more or less
Got it?
useless. If there's a lot of
Yes, sir.
rain, the water can't run away.
Now
There's
let's
nowhere for it to
24.
go. The whole design was faulty.
So, what are the authorities doing about it now?
I don't know. I did read that they're aiming to stop disposing of wastewater into the ocean over the next 10 years.
But that won't help with flood prevention now, will it?
No, really, they just need to find the money for something to replace the drainage channels in order to protect against flooding now. But
B.
Yes, 24. They just need to find the
New flood prevention system.
yeah. The person said you just need to find the money for something to
Come on.
replace the drainage. And there is a question, what do Rob and Carla think that the authorities and women should be immediately? So they say pay for a new food prevention system or just need to find the money. Pay for a new or just need to find the money. And the recommendation was given here. What do and they think the authorities and women should. So should are they just both in the same thing? And next is need money or pay. So this one is the right option, B. Let's go for 25. question first we read. Question 25 is, what do they agree should be the priority? Like much more ability or much more concentration was given to anything for international actions. What might that be? Yeah, a greater coordination. So coordination means together. Together word if used, so right option be A. Next, more sharing of information. The sharing of information, like spreading of knowledge, spreading of idea concepts, this can be used. Next, agreement on shared policies. So they both were agreed. They both agreed. So let's go for this.
But in the long term, they need to consider the whole ecosystem.
Right. Really, though, coastal cities can't deal with their problems on their own, can they? I mean, they've got to start acting together at an international level instead of just doing their own thing.
Absolutely. The thing is, everyone knows what the problems are, and environmentalists have a pretty good idea of what we should be doing about them, so they should be able to work together to some extent. But it's going to be a long time before countries come to a decision on what principles they're prepared to abide by.
Yeah, if they ever do.
Yes, which option you chose?
C. A.
Yeah, A. They should
A.
work. They should be able to work together.
Yes. Yes.
Greater
It
coordination.
will be A.
Yeah. So you saw the word coordination. You saw the word here and the disposing waste materials, which on the paying money to collect money. And here you saw in 23, which option was the right? Yeah, the climate change that was used by the global warming. And here in question number 1, which option was correct? Largest, biggest cities. And in question number 2, available for agriculture as part by pollution by the cities, rivers, right? So this is how the synonymized technique has been done. Please do not write on the screen. Yes. Now we go for further. Which questions are there? Okay, guys. I would like to go for any listening vocabulary if I have, and I would share with you. Again, try to go for the synonym words, right? 1. Zuhaib, please do not write on the screen. This is visible to everyone. Yeah. Now, and secondly, after going to the synonyms, this section 3 is easy, a little challenging, right? Interesting if you get approach to it. And if anybody got perfection in section number 3, this part, the specific part, choosing option, so easily your score will be 7+ in IELTS listening of any level student, right? I faced a different level student, even 4.5 and 6.5, 5.5 and 7.5. I'll have got somewhere in listening 7 and 7+. So how? If you do a little work on this part too, right? Section 1 in IELTS listening is quite easy. Section 2 is easy, not that much challenging. And section 4 is, by the way, very easy, similar like section number 1, right? You can see like the fill in the blanks. So fill in the blanks are not that difficult if you understand, and if you have command and spelling mistakes and your spellings are okay. So section 3 and section 3, you should go for not only IELTS listening, rather try to focus more on this. You can see synonyms, paraphrase, understanding, and also podcast. Along with that, I tell you one other concept if you don't understand. So the simple strategy is to directly play the subtitles, right? While you do the listening from here, the YouTube. So well and good, no problem. Or you do directly from computer based exam, the link that you guys have. So also fine, and make yourself familiar with that.
Sir, I didn't get your this point. Play directly subtitles like I have to write marine renewable energy and I can play it. Are you saying exactly the same?
What? Sorry?
You have said a word that we have only to play subtitles. What do you mean by this? How can we, how
In practice test, not in real test. In practice test, you can play subtitles from here, right? So sometimes, for the moment, section 3, if you don't get the words that what the speaker is saying, so let's play subtitles for
which
you.
turn a generator to produce electricity.
Some students face
Then,
difficulty in choosing the right
Section
option.
3.
Now see,
You will hear
talking
2
about this.
urban planning students called Carla
Yes.
and Rob
okay,
discussing their presentation on cities
you
built
can
by
on
the
it in
sea,
YouTube just to
following
understand and make your
instructions from their tutor.
understanding develop. and then later on go with the fast speed, go with the fast page, and try to pick it. I
Sorry,
give
sir, I didn't get
I give
how
you
to play
assignment of IELTS listening. Just click on the setting button and YouTube within video. Assignment is book 14, test 3 and 4. IELTS listening test 3 and 4, book 14. Do it, complete it, and share your result. If somebody has done it with it, go through any other test of IELTS listening and share your result. Thank you.
It was 14.
Yes, 14.
Okay.
Sir, 3 and 4 test book number 4.